So here's the dilemma. Miss Easter did get a stove yesterday, and as you can see, the stove eyes are working, but the oven does not work. So she says by the 2nd or the 3rd of February, if she cannot get some money to help her replace a furnace that works, she's gonna close up the house. She's gonna close and board up the house because she says, I'm not gonna have people living here paying rent without no heat in the house. Now, this is a used stove that you're looking at. It's not a new stove. The furnace in this house went out about a week ago. And unfortunately, since it went out about a week ago, she did get a used stove, but the oven don't work. But that is a source of heat. Unfortunately, as I just said, if she cannot get somebody to get her a furnace to get some heat in this house between now and the 3rd of February, this house is going to be closed up. It's going to be boarded up by her, the owner, and she has the right to do that. And it's unfortunate that, you know, nobody's really helping her because she don't have no income. She's unemployed. She's retired. And, you know, she's getting the raw end of the shaft literally about the furnace that went out about a week ago. Now, here's my issue with that. Nobody should be put in that situation where the temperature, like last week and the last 2 weeks, it was down in the single digits. So inside this house, it was just like standing outdoors. The furnace is beyond that basement door. The furnace went out about a week ago. Now, the housing network is saying they're not going to do nothing for her unless she submits some more documentation and proof to get another furnace replaced in this house. Now, I hate to tell you this. This is an emergency situation. Anytime you have a person who cannot get nobody to help them, all these agencies and stuff all around ain't doing nothing to help this woman now. All these government agencies is telling her they're not going to do nothing to help her. So in another week or two, if a furnace does not come in this house where she don't have to pay for it, she's going to wind up having to board the house up. And that means myself and the other person who been starting a lot of BS, running his mouth, he did not call her when the furnace started acting up. I'm the one who called her. I'm the one who called her and told her about the furnace malfunctioning. And unfortunately, because the furnace, as I say, is beyond that door right there, and that furnace is not working. She replaced the part on that furnace, but she told me, she says, I've had the furnace worked on at least twice since 2015. And this house was just as if you were standing outdoors last week when it was 15 degrees, single digit temperatures at 8 degrees in the morning. And today is about 40, 50 degrees. So as you can see, she got a stove, but the oven doesn't work. But that's better than not having a stove that doesn't work. Because the previous stove that was here, the previous tenant who lived in that room, he sabotaged that stove. And guess what happened? It was useless until she got this stove. Now, even though the oven don't work, it's better than having a stove that none of it didn't work, where the burners didn't work or the oven didn't work. That stove does work. The only problem with the oven is, who knows? But as I say, this is a dire emergency about this house at this point to get someone who can supply her with another furnace where she don't have to pay any money out of pocket. Because frankly, a lot of people don't have no money to buy a furnace or replace a furnace or even to repair a furnace. As cold as it was 2 weeks ago, it was single digit temperatures outside, snow and freezing cold outside. And that's unfair. And to the housing network, I want you to see something here. If you're looking at this, that is the raw end of the shaft. To put somebody through that, to have to use a used stove to try to heat the house. And now you got a deadline of at least 2 weeks of less, that if she don't get a furnace put in this house, beyond that basement door is a furnace downstairs that the housing network put a furnace in her basement back in 2015. Now, this is 2018, and that furnace has no heat coming out of it. And, you know, and it's unfair because people can freeze to death. If the temperature was still single digits, you could actually freeze to death in a house.